All right, guys, welcome back to the Culture Corner podcast, number one podcast in the Hawk. And fittingly for my second episode, I have my good friend Padriac Cruz, Patty, P Dad, whatever you want to call him, and he is from Secondhand Woke, and that is his collab name with his brother Merritt. Today I only have Padriac with me, but I'll let him take the floor for a minute. Introduce yourself.
Hello,
Hey,
I'm Padric. Y'all know that. Probably
hmm
don't know that. You know that.
I know that. A lot of people watching this know that. It's mostly just people we know.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know where to start with this.
I mean, I guess I'll kick it off. Why don't you give a little summary or just like a little like insight on the process of making this beat tape?
Um, it was mostly filling in time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Me and Merritt have always just like had these little gadgets to be making music with, and it was more of a hobby
Mm-hmm.
of just what we should be. I don't know, just like keeping our hands busy.
Right.
And then it was always in the back of our head to like actually put something out there that we like actually worked on. And eventually we just stopped talking about it, started doing it, and we made this.
And that's exactly why I'm doing this. I was talking the talk for so long, and I just was like, fuck it. I got the MacBook, decided to walk the walk,
Mm-hmm.
and all right, so we're just gonna go track by track here, folks. Bear with me. So the first beat on this little beat tape is Rip Mac B4, and ladies and gentlemen, this beat is drilled into my brain. For a lot of this, the process of making some of these beats, I was present
Mm-hmm.
in Patrick's little workspace in his room with the dirty clothes on the floor and
Yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's like it starts off with this awkward yet catchy beat, but awkward in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the experimental jazz trip hop type shit,
Yeah.
and on top of it, it has like these chain sounds in the background. It gives like this really eerie vibe. So why don't you talk a little bit about your process making that one?
Um, I made that one when I first started listening to a lot of Jay Dilla,
Mm-hmm.
and like his like patented technique or his like unique technique of like just turning off quantize and letting and like playing way before the beat or way behind the beat, and I just wanted to see if I could do that instead
Mm-hmm.
of just like being locked into a grid.
Right.
Just have more like human emotion behind it and
Mm-hmm.
like make it really sloppy.
Correct.
So I got that chain sample just from YouTube, but like when I looped it, it kind of had a rhythm to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I grabbed this Frank Sinatra vinyl I have. I think it's his old one with Tommy Dorsey,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just these really nice background vocals on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I wasn't really concerned about the lyrics or anything, and I just took like certain vocals and lined them up with like the rhythm of the chains, and then played the drums on top of that.
And you well obviously the professionals, but you're the only person I know that could have like an ear, the right ear to put something like that together. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people follow just like the regular formula, and obviously this comes from your inspirations, but um, making it awkward and sloppy adds that human emotion, as you put it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's real.
Mm-hmm.
People feel that. Other people might say it's garbage and that they don't understand it, but that's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I just appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And the next track was one from your brother Merritt, called "Finding Doris," and this one's a more like a spacey type vibe, like really airs out the track, and it has like this vocal sample in the background. It's really like vibey. I'm sure obviously you don't know where it came from as you were talking to me earlier about. Well, why don't you tell them about that quote from, was it Madlib you said?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them about that quote?
There's this Mad Lib interview with like Red Bull and stuff, and like before I used to write down every sample I used and like credit where credit due and everything, and then I watched that and like this guy's like an idol of mine, like one of the best, like probably the best producer to do it.
It's up there,
yeah.
but like,
But he just says, he's just like, the interviewer asked him, he's like, do you remember what samples you used? And he's like, fuck no, I don't remember that shit.
hmm
So I'm like, all right, guess I shouldn't be wasting ink.
And how long ago did this beat tape come out? By the way, a couple months, right?
Yeah, like a little after the start of quarantine. So
Okay.
yeah,
And when would you say the earliest beat made on this was? Like how long ago?
Rip Mac was made about like a year ago.
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, so obviously, to the viewers, don't expect them to remember everything. But yeah, this one's one of my favorites. Sorry to say that on the Merritt tracks, but this
No,
one's
he's a
definitely one of my
genius, man.
favorites.
He's a genius, honestly.
Yeah,
Like he's blown my mind with everything he shows me.
yeah,
And like I'm definitely like little brother in this situation. Like
yeah.
I idolize that kid.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
As you should, as you
Yeah,
should.
he's
I
fucking amazing.
I know him well. I like to think of him as a friend as well, just
Mhm.
as you are my friend.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's a smart guy,
Hmm.
very smart. All right, then the next track, One by You, Going Home. This is the first like faster pace beat on it. It's only the third track, but it's a
Hmm.
lot more faster pace than the first two. And that's Biggie, right?
Yeah, the Biggie.
It has this little sample in it if you go listen to it, and it's Biggie going and I love that. I've
Mhm.
loved that since you first played it for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
that. And it has like these little breaks from the loop in it where it's just like the hi-hats and the drums.
Hmm.
And I think that's a nice way to like let it breathe. Like it adds like appreciation to the main loop a little
Mhm.
bit more when it has those little breathers in there.
Yeah, yeah.
It was that what you were going for?
Um, that was more of a happy accident. Like I wanted a beat drop because what you said, giving it space and like breaking up the repetitiveness of it is important because at the end of the day, like you can only listen to a loop for so long.
Yeah.
But like what I love about it is like the like really crisp hi-hat in it. That gets me every time, and that was just like some weird compression I made by accident on my little mixing board, and then I was just messing around with turning the sample on and off, and then that showed up. Because that's staying.
Yeah, I love that. It's just like you're just going with the flow, and
Mhm.
you're having fun,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously. All right, then the next one, another one by you, Alive, Aha, Fuck.
Hmm.
So this one also drilled in my brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Is also present for the making of this beat, or at least you've played many different versions for me.
Hmm.
When I say that it's drilled in my brain, it's either due to the fact that I was there while you were making it, or you've had many different drafts of it and have played me each and every single one,
Hmm.
whether that be in the car or just chilling in your room.
Yeah.
And um so Secondhand Woke is the name
Hmm.
of you and your brother, but your solo name is Sweet Pea.
Hmm.
And can I tell them what that's a reference to?
Yeah, go for it.
It's the little
It's the baby man.
the baby man from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
And and there's a sample in this song where it says like, it's just like, you don't want to fuck with my boy Sweet Pea, something like that. I love that. That was
Mhm.
perfect. That was absolutely perfect. And there's a beat switch in this one. Probably there's a lot of beat switches on this beat tape, but this I think this was the smoothest one out of
Mhm.
them all. And kudos to you, beating out your brother, in my opinion, on that one. Kudos to you. Any thoughts on that one? Process.
Um, Not really. That one was a lot of fun to make.
Mm-hmm.
The intent was that when I made the first half, this happens with a lot of stuff I make. Like I'll make one loop or one little beat, and then I just don't know what to do with it because it's not done. And then like months later, I'll just be working with something else. And I'm like, this would definitely just flow into that real well.
Yeah.
And then like it's like puzzle pieces, you know.
Yeah.
You're just putting it together. It's really nice.
I actually in the package of Final Cut Pro, I got I know you use FL, but I got Logic Pro in there. So
Now Logic is good.
maybe you can teach me some shit, and we can just look up where to find it in Logic Pro as compared to FL. But like you could, this is an opportunity for me to maybe mess around with that. So if you want to help me with that anytime, that would be fun.
Sure, man.
All right, next up, another one by you, Snoozy Souls. This is another one of my favorites, top 3 up there. And it has like this sort of like maraca sound in the background. Is that what that is? Maracas? It's like a rattling almost.
Are you talking about like the 3 hit at the end of the
Yes,
loop?
yes.
Yeah, that's either a really messed up tambourine or a maraca.
Okay. And then this is one of the, I might not have just mentioned this in the previous ones, but I believe this is the first one with like a guitar in the background, some strings in there, and this is the one with the Nas sample in it. What part did you use?
Clothes, bankrolls, and hoes.
Oh, yeah.
Also him going what is it? And then you spawn with it with the kick. I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
From this right here, ladies and gentlemen. See, I love having the wall so I can just like point to something I'm referencing.
Yeah.
And you added this little outro at the end. I believe you just kind of slowed it down a little bit or something. It might have been a little like vocal sample or something in there. I thought it wrapped up Snoozy Souls nicely. You remember the process of that one at all?
I got this Jerry Southern and Johnny Smith vinyl, and probably like my favorite vinyl ever. It's a super like soul vibe, real chilled out, and it's just him going on guitar and this girl singing over it, and there's just one little section that stood out to me, and like that main guitar, the only thing that I really did with it was like moving the third to the first and then something like that. But I don't know, what I think is special about it is, again, like trying to break conventional means with it, like, because there's, in like typical song pattern, it's like kick on 1, snare on 2, kick on 3, and then like after you hear that for so long, you want to mess it up. So like I just put kicks on 1, 2, and 3, and then just the snare on 4. So it's kind of like this driving kick that makes your head move, and then you get the yeah.
I know what you mean. All right. Next up, we got a Merritt beat, Mukbang. This is one of the more chill aesthetics on the tape. I'm giving these adjectives out for the people at home so that if you want to go check it out, you can easily find like what you're in the mood for. It almost sounds kind of like underwater.
Yeah.
Like almost like that Mario level, the second level.
The reverb on that is so nice too.
And there's like that tongue sound.
Yeah.
Do you know how that came about?
Dude, that's one of the things that Merritt does that just like blows my mind. Like he bought a microphone a while ago. I'm like, you don't rap. I don't rap either. What do we need a mic for? And he played me that beat before he put that in. I'm just like,
it's a dope beat.
Good. It's good and everything. And then like just one day I walk in and he's just like over his mic going I'm like, how you gonna make that work? And he just does, and it's perfect. I'm like, you can't. The track can't have it anymore. Like it needs it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've witnessed some of that firsthand. I know exactly what you mean. Those of you that have music people in your family or close circle, I'm sure you see the little nuances that they add to their own little aesthetic that they create for themselves. And Merritt's great at that. Um, Strings again in the background and guitar type shit. Those are amazing. I don't think you miss on the guitar. You and Merritt, I don't think you miss on like a string sample once.
Yeah.
It fits perfectly every single time, which can be hard on like a more like hip hop inspired
Mm.
type
Um,
type shit.
I guess so. With what Kanye did and like making vocals um, super common in like beats, like pitched vocals or whatever. And then if you think about it, like guitars are very like sonically similar to a vocal chop,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you kind of like perceive it as someone singing instead of someone strumming it, I feel like it works easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. And then it just gets slowed at the end. I'm pretty sure it's not like a beat switch. It just kind of slows down the beat a little for the outro.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good way to wrap it up. And then is it Pussy 2-1 or Pussy 2-1?
Yeah. Pussy 2-1. Like we left in like for every bounce I make, I'm not sure what Merritt does, but like I'll just keep the original name and just do B whatever or just a number to know what bounce it is, like which version.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the second version, and then a subsection of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it starts off with a quick section of that really awkward outro to Fight the Feeling. When those of you who listen to Fight the Feeling by Mac Miller, you know how quickly you have to skip as soon as the last verse ends. So that,
dude, the awkward part about that is like, you know, when you're mixing it, you want to hear it on all sorts of speakers, right? Like your phone speaker, your car speaker, and everything. And I didn't start driving until recently. So my mom was driving me around, and I'm like, I gotta know if this is too loud or something. So I'm just playing that sample next to my mom. And she's like, "Can you shut it off?" And I'm like, "Come on, it's pretty dope."
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in that situation before. Obviously not playing your beat, but playing Fight the Feeling. I have to skip it so quickly. And then this one has some strings again, but it's a lot faster paced than the other ones so far. Which I thought was a little refreshing. I like how you had the Kendrick pussy in there. Is that where the title came from?
Came from because a lot of the beats come from certain vibes. You know, it's very like this like sonically, it's a sonic reflection on how I'm feeling in the moment. So put two and two together.
Gotcha. Understood. And then there's like a second half to this one. Is it a beat switch on this one?
Yeah. What's funny about that is again, like happy accident. Like I was just sitting with Merritt, and we are just like, if this half of the beat is like super sexual and everything, and then like I played him the second half, and he's just like, that's post nut clarity. So
Yeah.
like I had to put that on there.
Yeah, that's fair. That like fit my like I almost have like a certain vibe that I like to call it car ride vibes is kind of like my vibe for like all music that I like. I feel like that second half kind of fit that my like little criteria in my head perfectly. So kudos to you on that one. And then piano is my favorite instrument. So fucking that hit me. I love piano.
Excuse me.
All right. Next up, we got a Merritt beat. It's called "Fuck All Y'all,"
Fuck all y'all.
and it's again seems to be a trend in the ones he makes, trippy, spacey type sounds. This one's like literally sounds like it's in space, like futuristic, I guess you could say, and it's over these Tupac bars. Do you know what song that's from? As we mentioned in the beginning.
There's a Busta Rhymes verse on there too.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that he did on there where Busta Rhymes is like he's just going on this flow and then he hits some like he just goes but like it follows this like bass decline real well. And it's just like genius, you know.
Nut, basically.
Yeah.
One could say. And then you got he put some regular show in at the end. They're like, we should make a hit song. Is that what they say?
Yeah, rubber ringtone, pick up your phone.
Yes, I love that episode. I love regular show. Then next up we got another Merritt beat.
Which one?
Unraveled.
Oh my God.
This one's a little more edgy.
Super edgy.
Edgy boy, dark vibe. What did I say? It's some poetry in there.
Yeah,
I believe.
Button poetry. This guy's reading his suicide note he wrote. What I like about it is that it's kind of like a refreshing edgy. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not just like, oh, I'm depressed and all this. Like, you hear that a lot, and like it comes from a real place. But like, I feel like Merritt's approach on it was a lot more
real,
poetic, and like powerful. Because it's really hard to like put that into words and everything.
Yeah.
So like, mad props to the guy who wrote that poem. Like, summed it up perfectly, and like, yeah.
Like showed what it really feels like, as opposed to what it fake feels like, as opposed to your like average everyday mood swing, I suppose. Then I guess we'll go to one by you next up. How do I say this? Fletcher,
like Fletcher Field.
Oh, that's why you called it that?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Before I get into it, why is it called that?
It's real chilled out. I don't know.
And you have good memories of Fletcher Field playing baseball, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to like make something that sounded like an environment or turn an environment into a sound. So.
Would you say that's kind of like a happy place in your mind? Is Fletcher Field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty chill spot. Nice spot.
Have to do with baseball or just a chill spot?
Just a chill spot.
Did you play there at all?
I did. I wasn't good.
Yeah. You mostly played at King Street when you played, right?
Yeah.
All my Franklin people know what we're talking about, obviously. My note here says piano again, comma, come.
God damn,
man. This one's drilled in my brain as well. Again, don't know if that's just from you playing it or if I was there, but I've heard this one a million times. And it has like this like at the end of every like 4 bars or so, there's like this weird like distorted sound. You know what I'm talking about?
On
Fletcher.
I think so.
Well, again, don't expect to remember it perfectly, but it fits real perfectly. Like it's not like again like other people's perception of music that that might not sound like a musical note to them, but like it just fit perfectly in my mind. So yeah, that's that one. Next up, another one by you, Most Dope, has some the great Yasin Bey, Mos Def bars on there. Pretty Flacco Senior, as they call him. This one has a quicker guitar on there again, a lot faster paced guitar.
Yeah.
And did you add the laughing reaction in there, or was that from where the bars were from?
Oh, that's just from it. Like the video is him just in like a basketball court in a circle, and they're all like huddled up, and he's just going at
That's
it.
a dope vibe. The laughing and shit adds a lot to it.
Smells. It's like I thought it sounded just like a hot box, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then you finish it off with Baby Man. Baby Man.
Yeah.
More adventure time. We love our cartoons over here at the Culture Corner. Feel free to come on and talk to me about fucking cartoons. I love cartoons.
Dude, I could go all day.
We could do another episode solely about cartoons.
Yeah.
We'll do that sometime. And yeah, I thought that was dope. You're good with the samples, definitely. Even if it's not like part of the beat, like just like little references in there. I love that. So next up, Merritt, nice pants. And for those of you who are Odd Future fans, please go listen to this little beat thing. It's just it's from Tyler's Sway in the Morning freestyle, where he just is screaming about that AK-47 tucked up in his nice pants. and if you know that clip, then I know you're about to go check this out right now. It's on SoundCloud, by the way, if I didn't mention that.
Link in bio.
Link in bio. And this one just speaks for itself.
The only thing I gotta say about that is like, you know, I have my first like shitty project on my own SoundCloud and everything.
Yeah.
I called like Back to the Lab Again. I don't really go back to listen to any of that.
You don't?
But not really. Yeah. And Merritt has his first project on his own personal one called Lola, which is super good.
I've listened to
highly recommend.
I've listened to that one plenty of times.
But like, it's like kind of the only written formula we have that we need to have a beat in there that's not that serious, and that's like funny, and like make it work with everything too.
Right. Make sure we're recording, obviously. And that's my biggest fear is I haven't been recording this the whole time. And yeah, so if you're an Odd Future fan, I'm sure you're checking it out already. Next up, this one's both of you, according to you. It's called Big Dreams. And basically, it's just this one loop throughout the whole thing. It doesn't really break it all. It's just this electronic vibe. That's about all my vocabulary could say on it. But feel free to vent on that one.
That one's really important to me personally. Well, because it's like the first thing we ever really made together, like throughout the whole process, like me and him in a room, like sharing ideas. A lot of it's like, oh, I make a beat while he's at work, and then he gets home, he shows it. It's like, that's going on. So like that one's like, it means a lot to me. And also it's important to me because like it shows that we can like originally compose shit instead of just sampling.
Yeah.
Because that's him on piano, me on bass. We played in the drums. So
you played the drums, or he played in the drums?
Well, like with like a pad thing, not like actually.
I thought you meant on his set.
Nah,
I'm stupid. How would that even work? Yeah, is that it on that one?
That's all I got.
So then next up, we got you on Because I Love Her. And this one is more Biggie bars.
Big Biggie fan.
Yes, he is a huge Biggie fan, if you didn't already know. So you made the drums for this one, correct?
Yeah.
And those fit the bars perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you did that, but they just like it sounds like that could have been the original song.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then at the end of every few bars, like when he's like saying something real hard, you put this little like effect on his voice. Um, were you just messing around when you did that?
Um, yeah, there's this effect called voice transmission on my SP555, and it doesn't get much use because it can make something sound horrible.
Yeah.
But it works really well with like lyrics and everything.
Yeah.
So it's really just like taking the vocal and making another pitch of it, or just like whatever's being inputted and playing another pitch of it next to it.
Okay.
And I just like turned them up real high, so it sounds like there's a little mouse version of him rapping next to him.
Nice.
Just hyping him up.
So I really liked that. That was the best part of it for me. And I have it written here. There's a beat switch on this one.
Kind of. It just develops a little bit more, like bring in a conga,
Okay.
just to like have a little more rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
about it.
Yeah.
All right. So next one, you, and so when I say drilled in my mind, right? As I mentioned before,
yeah.
right here I have written drilled in my mind, all caps, bold. Would you say this is your favorite one?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
The honestly weakest one on the tape.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I just have heard it probably 200 times.
We're talking about the same one, right? Kid
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Like,
I guess I didn't really go through and determine a worst one.
I don't know. That was like the first one I ever made. That was like, I feel like I could show to people, like, and not. Well, that's not true. Like, it was the first one I was really proud of.
Mm.
So I played it a lot.
Yeah.
So much, and like now when I hear it, like I remember like, damn. Just like, first off, like I've heard this too many times. Like, shut it the fuck off, and like also I like to think I've evolved from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's back when I was like chopping up exclusively like Frank Sinatra and trying to make it like cute and shit. But
you may be right that it's the weakest link on the tape, but it also could partly be because the more you listen to your own beat, the more hypercritical you are of yourself on it.
Yeah.
Which I've witnessed firsthand
Yeah.
all the time.
There's probably some good stuff I just threw in the garbage can because I heard it way too much.
For sure. But honestly, that can end up being a good thing sometimes. And then it has the Earl. That was crazy as hell.
Yeah, that was your contribution to it.
It was?
Yeah.
I remember that actually.
Well, like, I knew I wanted to use something from that
that interview with his mom, right?
Cheryl Harris and Earl Sweatshirt interview.
Yeah.
I grabbed that part, but didn't know what to do with it, and then you're just like pitch it down, put it at the end. I'm like, yeah, perfect. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I made it on the tape, boys. I'm a musician now. All right, here we got one from Merritt. Harp Vibes. I actually heard this one a lot. I like when I was going back listening to this, I was like, damn, I feel like I remember listening to this one at least a couple of times before you even came out with it. But it's this one's not much really to say. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just harp vibes. It's harp vibes. If you know what a harp is, it's a harp. And there's these vocals in the background that are pretty dope.
Yeah.
Anything to say on that one?
Sounds like a waterfall.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
It's like a waterfall. That's a good way to put it. We're almost done, folks. Got you got 4 more tracks to go, folks. Just bear with me.
Into like a conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk about some cool shit. So this one's a Merritt beat. Do you know what he meant by BOF at symbol?
Bofa?
Bofa, like both of these nuts.
Yeah, Bofa.
This one's choppy. Um,
Super like old school kind of MPC
Yep.
vibe on it.
Chop the Soul,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
spacey. Again, a trend in the ones that he makes, and I feel like it kind of this was like kind of giving a break to the faster ones that were coming before it. I believe this one was a bit slower. Yeah, do you remember anything about Bofa you can talk about?
Bofa was sitting stagnant for a long time. Maybe older than Rip Mac.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not really sure what to say about it other than
This was one of the ones that like was forgotten for a while and then they kind of reused almost.
He wanted to use it for his first tape, but it just didn't fit. So like, and it took, so it was just sitting stagnant. And honestly, it wasn't. I'm not sure if it was gonna make this one until the one before it. Like, we have a rough idea of the order that's gonna be as we're going, and like the ending of what was the last one? I can't even remember.
The last track.
I can't even remember my own tape right now.
The last track.
Yeah.
Midnight.
No, like before Bofa.
It was Harp Vibes.
Yeah. I don't know, we're just consciously thinking of like the next one and how it should sonically sound and like if it fits with the old one, and then he just whipped that out. I'm like, yeah, it's making it.
Fair. Then we got this one's by you. You're gonna have to say this one for me.
It's Apple Cider.
Apple Cider. Okay, I get it now.
It's spelled stupid.
I know. You went with the unlocked sort of vibe with
more
the
like
titles.
a knowledge kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's fair. So Apple Cider is Bofa was a break, but this one's back to the hype a little bit. Has some dope vocals as most of these beats on the tape do, and it doesn't necessarily have a beat switch, but like it kind of uses the same beat, like the same loop, but changes the vibe a little bit.
No, it's a different beat.
It's a different beat?
Yeah.
Touch on that a little bit.
Well, it starts off with like the horns and the violin, and there's the vocal like that loops for a little bit with like a break in it, just to like spice it up, and then there's that drum fill, and then the cough from Riot on Earl Sweatshirt's album.
Oh yeah.
And then it leads into this Harpton sample where they're just like vocalizing. It was some love song, but
can I say something controversial?
Yeah.
Riot, top 10 songs of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people agree.
Like, okay.
You're like, fuck them, right?
Yeah. No, like Earl has a very like, his fan base is pretty big, but and like we stan him and everything.
A niche at the same time.
Yeah,
it's all full of stans.
And like, I don't know, Anthony Fantano put it perfectly with Riot, where it's like standing triumphantly while you're sad as shit, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why it's the outro. That's exactly why it's the outro. All right. I'm glad you used the cough. Cough's the best part.
Yeah.
I'm glad you used the cough. So the last two are both by Merritt, but we can touch on them for a sec. Remembered, goes right back to the sad boy vibes after that little hype track from you. It almost kind of felt like an interlude to me. Why don't you touch on that a little bit?
That didn't make the tape till like a week before we put it out, or like a couple months. Like, we wanted 20 tracks, and I had something in there called like some
Hardly Matters.
Hardly Matters. And like after a while of just like listening to the flow of the whole tape in our car, we're just like, this isn't making it. But like we still wanted 20 tracks, and he was just messing around, just like performing some of the beats on his 404, and there's a reverse function where it just plays everything in reverse. So we just did that. I forget what beat It was because I think it was Finding Doors he put in reverse or something, and then it was a nice vibe. He
Yeah.
put that like vocal chop over it. Not
Yeah.
sure where it's from, but it's very good chop, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because he's a genius,
Yeah.
obviously. Not to make you feel bad, but
Oh no, I don't care.
you're a
Like,
genius too. Then last but not least is Midnight, also from Merritt, and this one doesn't sound like water. It is quite literally water flowing,
yeah.
and and I just thought that was a great way to wrap it up. Like, was there a reasoning for the water flow sound, or did it just sound cool?
Sound cool.
Did you put it as the last song for any particular reason?
Just worked.
Just worked. Yeah. And tell me, from a music maker's perspective, like the lineup, do you have it in your mind where it's gonna be as you're finishing it up? Or when they're all done, do you decide this is gonna follow this one, this is gonna follow this one, this is first, this is last?
Um, I got a vague idea in my head about like what sounds good next to what. The lineup isn't really specific and it's open to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like with this one, we like sat down for like 3 hours just playing them over and over again, figuring out what works with what.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, something about Midnight just makes it feel like a closer. Like,
Yeah. No, that's
especially
exactly
like
how
the
I felt.
applause at the end. It
Yeah.
just sounds like we're wrapping up.
Mm-hmm. And what was I gonna say? Do you see yourself in the future, as you spend more time on it, making transitions, making the beats transition between each other, like sort of ending the beat with like the build up of the next one and then continuing into the next one? Are you even into that sort of thing? I guess should be my first question.
I'm a big fan of I listen to a bunch of knowledge. That
Yeah.
it's just like you got the rhythm of the first one, and then
It
it just
works.
switches,
Yeah.
and then it's this new thing. And like sometimes he does a build up into one, and it's perfect. But whatever happens.
Okay. I hate to break it to you. We're closing in on 45 minutes here.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so
You want making an out?
I feel like we should do a different episode of us just
Fibbing?
us just going at it.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Sounds good.
You're good with that?
Yeah.
All right then, folks. Well, 45 minutes. This is just about, at least. This is a lot longer than the last one with Jason. Only by a few minutes, but it's longer. And I know y'all Gen Zs, I fucked up on the last one called Joe Millennials. Y'all Gen Zs, so you still on TikTok, you scrolling on the TikToks. That's all you can do. So if
boomer right now.
if you made it to the end, comment boomer, comment boomer, and go check out Secondhand Woke on SoundCloud right now.
Thank you very much.
Any last words?
Wash your damn hands.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying.
Wear a mask.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Stay safe out there, folks. See ya.